Trapped in a violent, controlling relationship with the wealthy scientist Adrian, Cecilia escapes in the dead of night and disappears into hiding, aided by her sister Emily, their childhood friend James, and his teenage daughter Sydney. Adrian later commits suicide and leaves her a generous portion of his vast fortune, but a series of bizarre events leads Cecilia to suspect his death was a hoax. As these eerie coincidences turn lethal, threatening the lives of those she loves, Cecilia's sanity begins to unravel as she desperately tries to prove that she is being haunted by someone no one can see. So you have Cecilia, and she is leaving her husband, and you could tell she is terrified. It's in the middle of the night. I think at one point in time she looked over at the clock and it was like 3:40 a.m. So she's trying to leave without him knowing. So she runs through the woods. She comes out on a little road in the middle of nowhere. And Emily is her sister, and her sister is supposed to come get her. Emily pulls up. Emily pulls up and she's like, "Are you okay? What's going on? What's happening?" She's like, "Go, go. I'll explain later. Just go, just go." Then you see her husband, Adrian, who she just ran from, walking up to the car. He starts hitting on the window. Cecilia is yelling at her sister Emily, "Go, go, go." She's like, "What's going on?" He breaks her window. He's busting the window. He punches his fist through the window. Then she drives off. And after that, she goes to her friend James' house. James is a childhood friend of Cecilia and Emily. He lives with his daughter. His daughter name is Sydney. And she's staying there, and you could tell she's very much traumatized. She hasn't really left out the house. She's barely made it to the mailbox on the street. She very much felt scared to me. I believed her. She she looked like she was terrified. Her sister comes over, and her sister tells her that Adrian is dead, that he killed himself. So they go to a meeting with a lawyer who turns out to be Adrian's brother, Tom. So Tom is telling Cecilia that Adrian has left her money with the contingency that some certain things have to happen or cannot happen in order for her to get the money. Things start to happen that make her feel unsafe, that make her feel like something. Now, this movie had me on the edge because even though we know, as the audience, we know nothing is there, the way the director has the camera looking at nothing. I'm sitting here and there's an empty space, and the camera goes to this empty space, and now you're looking at that space like, oh my gosh, she doesn't know he's right next. And I'm like, can I hear him? Can you hear his footsteps? Can you hear him walk? Like, is he really there, or is it just psyching you out that he is going to be there? Now, because the way she was already acting before, everybody kind of thinks she's lightweight crazy. So when people are abused, one of the first things that the abuser does is to get you away from people. So he starts to make different things happen to alienate her friends or her family that have been there for her. So that makes her start to question her sanity. Like, am I crazy? What's happening? Different things are happening. And she's like, no, this isn't me doing this. This is him. He's not dead. He's really here. He's alive. And he's after me. And everybody is like, Cecilia, he is dead. He has been cremated. We have his ashes. There is nothing happening. It gets to the point where something happens and she gets put in a mental hospital. Okay, so the first and the third act were very much psychological thrillers. He's there. You know he's in the house. You're doing different things. Different little things are happening. Touching stuff, moving stuff. You know how you could feel somebody staring at you and it's like someone's in the room and you're looking around. It's one of those movies. It's one of those movies that make you feel like when you're at home alone and you have that feeling like, oh my God, somebody really is here. Like I knew it all along. That when I'm alone, that somebody really is here. It really has you looking like that. Like it really has you paranoid, like, oh my God, is somebody really here? Like, okay, so from now on I have to put flour down and make sure that there is no trail of flour anywhere. And then she was really erratic. I think that's one of the reasons why people have a hard time believing you, because when something's happening to you, of course you're erratic, you don't know how to handle it. And then in any movie you can always be like, oh my gosh, why is she acting like that, why is she doing that, that's not something I would do. If that happened, I would not do that. I would do this and I would do that. And I honestly couldn't say how I would do, because you're freaked out, because it's already been said, like it was in the paper that he's dead. So you're already feeling like, okay, they've already said he's dead. So is this just me? Am I really losing my mind? Is he really here? Like, what's going on? And it's times where she's sitting there looking, and she seems crazy. Like, she honestly seems crazy to me. She's sitting there, and I'm watching the movie knowing what I couldn't imagine that someone that is actually in the movie, or someone that is actually in that situation is feeling, looking at her like, what are you doing? Like, different things are happening, and she's pretty much going insane, pretty much. And it gets to a point in time where you're telling someone, you're screaming at them like, no, he is alive. This is real. He is trying to kill me. He's trying to ruin my life. He is trying to make you all believe that I am crazy, and I'm not crazy. But the more you tell somebody you're not crazy, the more they believe that you are crazy. That's just the rule. So if someone is saying you're crazy, don't just keep yelling at them that you're not crazy. And don't yell, because the more you yell, the crazier you look. I am not crazy. I am not crazy. If you're yelling that, then everybody be like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and get her a sedative, because she needs. I will say that I watch a lot of movies, and I absolutely do love movies. So one of the things that I do is I could sit there and I see something coming. I'm like, oh, okay, is this coming? And then that is one of the things. Now, did that take away anything from the movie? Absolutely not. I honestly still did enjoy this movie. I really did. I do recommend this movie. I do say yes, go see this movie. This was a very good movie. I would give this movie a B. Like, you've kind of seen it before, but you kind of haven't. It's like they've taken different things from different movies. So like I said, I've seen a little bit of Sleeping with the Enemy. There was another movie called Unsane. It kind of had a little bit of that in it, but then it put a tech part in it that is like, okay, well, it's not he took a serum and he turned invisible. Like, he was a tech genius. So that's already been established in the movie that this is something that is possible for him. Maybe not for everybody. And you take the right amount of genius, and you take the right amount of insanity, and then you have Adrian, a man who is very smart and very crazy and tries to get what he wants. And then they use cameras, but at the same time, it's like you're using the cameras, but if you use the cameras, then something else happens in the movie that you're like, so why didn't you use the cameras there? Okay, so we're ignoring this fact, and we're just moving on because we need the movie to keep going. So that was one thing in there that I was like, I'm side-eyeing you. Like, I'm side-eyeing you like big time for this. Maybe low-key, but high-key in the same time. I was okay with it watching the movie because I knew it had to happen. But at the same time, you're like, wait, so why didn't they? Okay. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Like, and you just have to accept it. But, certain things have to happen to wrap a movie up in a certain way that they needed to be wrapped up. Then it does have a twist. So when you're getting to where they're breaking out, and where you're getting to, the climax, like it picks up the pace. Obviously in the third act, they pick up the pace in the third act. So you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And when this happens, you're like, wait, what happened? And you're like, how? That's what they want you. Wait, what happened? How was it? Oh my God. So this was this. Okay. And so it's a little twisted there that they are wanting you to be like, oh, okay, this is what happened. Okay, thank you for watching this review, and stick around for more. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe. Subscribing is free. Until next time, bye.